Hello, everybody. James, Russell, Mike, and the ones that haven't posted yet. There's a few of us. So I'm going to hold on a little bit longer. So let me make sure everything's good over in YouTube land. Hey, Grayson. We had a good little chat yesterday. All good. Hey, Vincent. So people are popping on. I do have a lot of news to give you from my NAHBE experience. Hey, James. Yeah, I think you're new getting on here. I know you were on the other day, last week. We went over the entrances. I'm going to talk about that too. We want to have a good 2024, I think. But I'll let a few more people get on. Hey, DC. Hope everything's good on the West Coast. Yeah, DC, I've been painting all day. Hey, James Noel. Hey, Dean. Yeah, cold weather starting tomorrow and getting pretty cold for at least a week. Back to winter. But you know what, Dean? It's always cold third week of January. That's my mom's birthday, January 23rd, while she passed away a few years ago. And she always said her birthday was the coldest day of the year. And a lot of days, that 23rd of January is the coldest day of the year, but usually happens that week, usually between the 20th to the 25th, basically. So it might be not true. We already had a -3, so it's got to get even colder than I think they're saying. But hopefully that was the coldest -3 for the winter. It's still got a long ways to go. Hey, Chris, Bees Nuts Honey. So we're up to 16 people. That's good. Yeah. So everything's good. I'm a little tired today. Like I said, I've been painting, pulling the tape up, and then cleaning up all the messes that I made. Still got to paint the ceiling in the master bathroom. That's what I've been working on. Got to paint the cabinets still. Miss. Oh yeah, there's Flower Street. I didn't even see that. Hey, Brian and Jane and Billy just popped in there. So all right. Well, when I was at NAHBE last week, I had quite a few people come to me talking about my swarm trap. A few people have made them and they can't believe how well they work. Well, I was right on the money, exactly like I advertised. So I'm going to start making them and start selling them. So I know they're easy to make, but I'm going to be sourcing some 19-gallon, hopefully purple ones, but blue ones for sure, tubs and making a whole bunch of them. Vinyl plank and floor. Yeah, that'll be good. DC, that'll be easy to clean up. I'll get as smooth as possible, not too much stuff to get junk stuff in it, because it happens. Hey, Collector Rick. Man, silver's going crazy. Hey, Jack and Danette. How's everybody doing? Jack doing better, I hope. Let me know. New comment. Prayers for him. Then I also had people ask me about the my inert biodegradable way I treat for mites that I did treat one time for a bunch of years, about 5 years. People were hoping I was selling them actually at NAHBE. And I actually have been calling 3 different manufacturings, and one of them has already gotten back with me. And we're looking at pricing and custom labeling on the packages, to have my label on there versus the manufacturing label on there. So pretty soon I'll be able to source that out to a manufacturing company. So I'll be selling those in the near future, I would think by couple months, probably about 2 months. So the totes I can get going pretty soon here, probably by the end of the month. The mite treatment, I'm going to call, actually the totes, the swarm traps, I'm going to call them simple traps. That's going to be my name for the traps, simple traps, because they're simple to make. The mite treatment that I do, it's going to be called NAHBE. Varroa. Either going to be called, I think, packages or strips, or I'm not sure what I'm going to call them after NAHBE. Yes, I think people want to talk about silver a little bit. Just to let you guys know, I stacked silver probably about 5 to 10 years ago. I think my least expensive silver I bought was $15. And I bought a lot when it was 20 to 25, and then I bought a little bit when it was 49. So I got a pretty good stack of it. So I've made some money each day. It's going up more and more. And I just moved most of the money out of the bank. I got them in a brokerage firm right now that I have full control over. So I was hoping the silver would hold off for a couple more weeks while I was doing that. I had to wait till after the first of the year, but that's all right. It's going to keep going. But to go back to what I was talking about, so my nerve pads, I think that's what I'm going to call them, nerve pads for treatment. Well, that's going to take me a couple months to get that going, get the manufacturing process company building them. Hey, Pennsyltucky. And then the third one is my custom bottom boards entrance. And I talked to Michael Mahar, as you pronounce it, not how Melissa pronounces it, 21st B. And it looks like he's going to make them for me. Right now, he's just going to make the entrance, the custom entrance for me. So I got a 3D prototype in the mail to him right now. Hey, Randy. And I was hoping he could make the whole bottom board with the entrance, but he said that bottom board's too big for his machinery that he customly has in the plant. They can't make anything quite that big. But he told me they're in the process. I think they already bought it. Another molding line that can do that big of a part. But he said it's going to be a year to year and a half before it's all installed, designed, installed, and put in place. So I think right now I'll have to make them myself, buy some bottom boards, and install the part and sell them. So I have 3 products right now: the custom bottom board with the entrance, the mic treatment pads, the NAHBE pads, and the simple trap. So instead of me just using them myself, I'm going to start sharing my creativity to the world, basically. So in the near future, there we go. I got it back. Hey, Shona. So I'm going to be calling the state of Ohio. Um, yeah. I'm going to start an LCC. I'm going to call it NAHBE's. Start a new company. I've done it once in my life, so I've done an LCC once in my past life. So start a new LCC called Maccabees. I'm going. I could make the website myself, but I'm going to hire somebody. So if somebody or somebody here that's a beekeeper that also does websites, I'd be more than welcome to talk to you. Get my Maccabees website up, and I'm going to start selling those 3 products that I mentioned: the entrance, the custom entrance and bottom board. I'll sell them as separate pieces or already installed into a solid bottom board. I'm going to look into screen bottom boards for the southern people, and also getting Michael Mahar to build the ones for the cold way versus the warmer. Hey, Mark Zenner. Yeah, Shopify is one of the options, Mark. I have my own webmail that I use my domain name through. I'm going to check them out first. They used to have one. They use WordPress. Yeah, WordPress, but it's not very user friendly. You got to do a lot of programming, and I'm done programming. And HTML6 it is now, which is a little bit easier than HTML5 was. So I might do it myself too. I think they now have easier ways of doing it. But that's a good idea. Shopify. So any ideas I'll take. Yeah, that's HTML. is the backbone of this web page right here. Of all the web pages, it's all written in HTML6 right now. They might even be up to 7 as it keeps getting easier and easier to make them. So that's a web link, web graphics language. Yeah, GoDaddy's okay, but it's not my favorite. Even though I have some stock in GoDaddy, maybe I should use it. It hasn't been doing too good, just okay. So I'm going to do that. And then next year, I'm going to be talking, once I get this all set up, I should have this all set up, I would think by summer, by end of spring, even maybe by spring. Depends how energetic I am. So I hope to have the business up and running, and then next year I should be a vendor. I might be a vendor. I don't know if I'm going. I might join in with. There's a couple of possible people that were interested in me, maybe sharing a booth with somebody. Don't know. Rob and Lori, I talked to it. Robbie Bees. Maybe Michael's booth. I don't know. See what happens. Or have my own booth, custom booth, selling those 3 products. And who knows after that? Maybe I'll come up with another product. So I'll be busy making all that stuff. If that all comes out, I'll be this summer building. Product after product after product. Yeah, it was great meeting you too, Shiona. With that silent E, as Charlie would say. Yeah, that was the best part, was meeting everybody, especially the ones here that I did know previously. There was one person that wanted to meet me. No more retirement. You're correctly right, Brian. But I never said, I did say I was retiring, but I never said I was going to quit. I'm just retirement from working for somebody else, for the big man. I'll be working for myself. I did that once in my life, working for myself. Worked out pretty good, actually, but not exactly what I wanted. So, yeah, I'll see how much I want to do, how large scale I want to go. But see what goes. I was surprised at NAHBE how many people came up to me and told me about the swarm traps and wanting to buy some pads. So nobody talked about, a couple people talked about my entrance going to Warm Way. Yeah, that's why I retired from working for the man. Did that my whole life. Sad part is, I want to hear a funny story. So I graduated from college, from high school in 79. And I think it was my sophomore year at the University of Cincinnati. So I'd be 81. I actually designed and built my own desktop computer. It was a DOS, as DC was talking about, DOS 3.1, 3.0 or 3.1 computer. And it cost me, at that time, I had to piece parts. I know I got the case from California, and I pieced parts from the motherboard and all that from all over the place. And it worked. And I wasn't smart enough at that time to put 2 and 2 together that I could make these, for mass produce them and sell them in the market like IBM did and some other people did. And but instead I went and finished my degree and then got a job, moved up to Fort Wayne, Indiana, worked up there for a few years and came back to Cincinnati. So I've been here ever since. Met my girlfriend, got married, had a couple kids, and the whole 9 yards. And now I'm retired, start my own company again. So you just never know. I'm hoping. I have an uncle that's 91 right now. He can still walk and he can actually still jog. And that's my goal. I'll be like Bob Beanie. I'm 85 years old. I'll still be going strong and still working. Keith, how you doing down south? I guess that cold air is going to come down your way a little bit, starting tomorrow up here. So you're probably Thursday or Friday. So that's my big news. So I'm going to start an LCC and get a web page going and start selling three different products in the bee industry. See which one gets going the best. See how many people buy my simple swarm trap. Simple's trap. That's what it's called. Simple swarm trap. So I'm kind of getting names for everything. I don't have a name for my bottom board yet, or for my custom bottom board. I was calling them Langstroth 2.0. Yeah, 17. I think we're supposed to go down to -9. So if anybody comes up with a good name, let me know for a bottom board. Like I said, the best thing I came up with, Langstroth 2.0 bottom board. But that could work too. Maybe that's what I'll call it. So, anybody got any questions? Anybody want to talk about anything in particular? I was kind of disappointed with myself. It was 53 degrees today. It was windy though. And I didn't go out in my yard to take a updated picture for January. So now I'm already into the second week of January and I haven't taken a picture for this month yet and update my background. So I still got the December picture. So yeah, I think I saw 9 was the coldest. So that's not bad at all, 9 degrees. I just don't like negative numbers or single digits, but 9's just barely single digits. Actually, I should say I don't like single digits, positive or negative. Clarify that. Yeah, I did, Mark. Good question. Man, I found some deals too. I pre-ordered most of it. I bought 144 medium frames from Acorn. So those are all plastic frames. I'm slowly swapping out my frames to plastic versus wood with plastic foundation. The biggest reason is I want to be able to, in 5 years, and the ones down in brood boxes, I can scrape that wax off of them, pressure wash them, get all that old wax off after I scrape most of it off, and then reuse them versus me throwing them away or burning them in the fire pit. I actually, Chris, I actually bought them directly from Acorn because they had a little special going on that they didn't advertise, but if you called them to order them, they weren't on their website. This is the first year Acorn ever selling their product, and they actually cut Bill off to buy any more Acorn, so I couldn't even get them through Bill, unless I would have ordered them really early. But I was able to buy per frame for $1.29. I haven't been able to buy a frame for $1.29 in the last 15 years, 10 years. So, yeah, and that was waxed. A wax medium frame for $1.29. So I bought 144 of them. I only needed about 70 of them, but I'm going to be selling them down the road this year. Actually, I'll tell you why in a little bit. I also bought 4 complete hives, 2 8 frames and 2 10 frames, solid bottom board, 2 deeps, medium super, and a lid, all unassembled from Rossman Apiaries. And was able to buy all 4 of those hives for $274. So that's like 80, not even $90 a hive. And that's 3 boxes. So I did really good there. And I bought 2 packages of global patties that's got the real pollen in it and rocket fuel in it, Apis Biologics, through Hilco. I bought, what else did I buy? Pre-ordered. It was something. Oh, I bought a suit from Comfrey Pro, just a jacket and a veil. I have never bought pants for when I buy a suit. Trying their brand out. I haven't found a jacket yet that I like, or veil that I like. And yeah, Shauna, those were some really good deals, those 2. And I bought, well, I had a list, but I threw it away. What else I bought? That was the main things that I bought. Then at the show, I bought 5 bars of soap from 3 different people that had beeswax in it, and that some from Blue Ridge from Bob Beanie, Selena, for my wife. I bought some frame spacers, 9 frame spacers from Man Lake. That's mostly for my medium supers. I put 1 on each end. 1 on one end of the 2, just to get their 9 frame spacing for the honey. That kind of gets the other ones in frame. Then they purplize it, and that'll be the other side. So just helps me from getting them spacing properly. I don't do both sides because it seems to be hard to get the frames out when both of them got frame spacers in them. Hey, Todd. Yeah, it was great to finally meet you, Todd. And I just bought tickets for the EMBA, and I still got to get the hotel. So I'll see you there in February 20th, 21st. I did check. It's a 5.5 hour drive, so that's not even that far of a drive to the Holiday Inn. I bought, what else did I buy? That was about it, I think. I didn't buy a whole lot at NAHBE. So I bought the spacers, I bought some soap. Yeah, that was it. Nothing else jumped out at me. Boy, I would have loved to buy the wax frame wax remover that Hilco, because it was heated too with vibration. I think he wanted $3,600 for it, but they're not for sale yet. So that'll be a commitment. Maybe next year, especially since I'll be maybe have my company running and I can afford to buy it and I at least use it as a write-off. So that'll be the plan. That's the plan. So maybe next year. So yeah, I did pretty good. Didn't buy a whole. Frames was the biggest thing, and some boxes. What I'm going to do, I usually sell. I'm going to be selling 40, 50 nukes this year, and every year I always have half dozen people want to buy woodenware from me. So I'm going to take those 4 full hives and sell them with the bees to the people who want to buy the whole hives and everything with the nuke. So that's the game plan. So I will be the automatic uncapper. That looked like a pretty good machine. Um, yeah, I could use a real creamer too versus my 10-speed mixer if I want to go that far. But it looks like I'm going to go the other way around, go more into materials. Hell. So yeah, I don't think they bought anything. I do want to thank Flower Street and 23 Mile Beast, Phil, and Matt from Sandy, and RTX, Phil, Big Mike, Brad from Cajun, and Danny for giving me cream honey and honey at the show. That was great. I already tasted them all, and I really like. Let me see. I got a note written down here. Cream honey was good, Brian. I think I saw them on here. Yeah, and so whose honey did I really like? Oh, Phil's from 3 Mile Bees, and the hot honey was good too with the chili pepper. Definitely gonna put that in the homemade chili next time. All the none of the I liked all the honeys. That was the best part about it. Not one of them I said, "Oh, that's not one of my favorite flavors." So they were all good. Um, oh yeah, RTX Phillips honey. I was surprised how much his honey down in Texas was pretty similar to my honey. The only difference is his honey was a little bit more floral than my honey, but the rest of it was pretty much really close. He said the same thing. He said when he handed it to me, he goes, "It's going to taste a lot like yours," and he was right on. So somehow some Texas flowers match up with my black locust clover flowers and all the other flowers around here, wildflowers. So I have them all sitting here on the table right here, right next to me. Here's Brian's. Oh, come on. Yeah, there we go. Cream honey. So they're all sitting here. So where is this one? This little guy that's already um, crystallizing on me is very similar to my honey. Yeah, here we go. That one. So I'm going to bring more honey next year. That's definitely my goal. Bunch of 8 ounce classic plastic bottles. Maybe if I have my own booth and you guys come and visit me, I'll hand you out a bottle of honey. That would be a win-win. Oops. So what time is it? 8 o'clock, half an hour. So I'm really excited this year. Got a lot going on. So finally, I've been trying to get a manufacturing to get my Varroa pads going, my Nove pad. Um, I've been working on that for 6 months off and on. And I made a phone call yesterday, and they called me, or 2 days ago when I got back from that. Yesterday it was, and then they called me back late yesterday, and they called me again this morning. So right now, everything looks good. The only deal is I was hoping to buy about 1,000 of them at a time, but I got to buy 4,000 at this manufacturer. The really sad part is, though, I could not find anybody in the United States that was interested in making these for me. I'm going to keep trying because I'd rather have local USA, but it's going to be made overseas. On Wednesday dinner, Appamay rep squirm at the Wednesday dinner. Yeah, I really enjoyed the Wednesday dinner. I talked to Appamay, the oh gosh, what's his name? The owner. the old man, about the bottom board and making a new bottom board with the warm way and um, with my type entrance in it, and he wanted no part of that with me. In fact, we kind of had a little argument on it. So yeah, and really, I mean, I finally got the tritone. Finally found out what his name was, so that was good. Yeah, so yeah, I'm not happy with NAHBE. I actually do not like their hives. I like their boxes, but I do not like the bottom board, how it's designed, and I really don't like their lids. I think the lids aren't very good. They don't even, if you don't clamp them down, they won't even snap in there. They don't even stay in there very good. And their feeder is way too small. They should have made it at least an inch taller to hold a little bit more syrup. I'm not one to go out there every other day to fill it back up. I want to put 1 or 2 gallons on it and walk away from it for at least a few days to a couple of weeks. So most of my hives now I feed with a 2-gallon bucket. And I think that only holds a quart, 2 quarts each side of a quart. So I'm not a big fan of their hive. So I got one whole hive and I got a bottom board. So I might take that bottom. The bees are doing good in it, so I can't do anything with it now. But I think I'm going to take that bottom board back out and modify it. Cut some plastic pieces and heat them up and melt them in there. See what I can do. Customize it myself or screwing it in. Russell Koopman. Hey, Russell Koopman. Good to see you on there. Yeah, I got 7 people watching. I don't know what I went up to. So I think this year I enjoyed NAHBE more than ever. I didn't do the honey show this year, which is the first time. I had 3 or 4 items I could have done, but I decided not to. I wanted to really enjoy it. I really took my time. I probably talked to 50% of the vendors where I actually stopped and talked to them for 10 to 15, 20 minutes. I talked to every one of them. I get to know them a little bit better. So I really enjoyed doing that. I really enjoyed meeting the people that are here on the No Life group that I don't know. I still didn't get to everybody. Like I said, John from Westcliff he actually wanted to talk to me. And finally on the Saturday, we were going to meet up and his wife got sick. I guess she got had a little stomach bug or something like that. Nothing major. So each time he called, I called him and he was out. He was not NAHBE. He called me and I was outside. I was at NAHBE, but I wasn't inside. I was loading up my truck and we didn't catch. He said, "Oh, I'll just call you back later." And, he got busy and I got busy. He wanted to talk to me about something. So we'll catch up to each other. He's going to call me sometime. He's got my number. I got his number. I have to thank Tom and Melissa for that. I didn't have his contact, but now I do. So, yeah, so I really, really enjoyed it this year. I actually took a bigger perspective on the whole operations. Talked to Chris that runs it for about 20 minutes about everything, about all kinds of little different stuff. We've gotten to know each other pretty good over the last couple of years, 2 years, last year and this year. So, yeah. So I'm to the point now. I don't need to see this. I don't need 3 days to see the show. I probably could do it in a half a day now. Go right to the places where I want to go. Um, so I think it'll be a good time for me to become a vendor and do that gig. All right, Chris has got a question. I don't know if it'll be quick. Repost it. Yeah, I did about the same. I did one, and then I was doing another one that Bob Beanie, Blake, and I forget the third guy. We're going to talk a little bit and then do questions. And Cayman was there, and Cayman just talked and talked and talked and did his stupid talk. And he probably talked for 10, 15 minutes. And when he got done, they started writing the questions. And after the first questions, I walked out. I didn't want anything to do with it. So I missed one that I wanted to, Fred Dunn, I wanted to go to his, because he usually calls out a few jokes. But I missed his. I was busy at the time. But sometime probably in, I would say March, Cameron will get those lectures out to you. And I think that takes him a couple months to get them all processed through that whatever company he goes through. So I'll pick up there. I'll probably listen to Randy Oliver's too. Those are about the only two that actually piqued any of my interest. All the rest of them I wasn't that too much interested on. I mean, I already do artificial insemination with my partner. Actually, I don't do it anymore. We let a younger lady do it, Robin. She's got a lot more better control than us two older guys, because my partner's George. He's a year older than me. So he'll be 66 and I'll be 65. So we let Robin do it. She's in her 50s. She's got good eyes. Both of us wear glasses. So she does all the artificial insemination. She took that over last year. So that's a nice that I can get breeder queens free of charge. But actually, I went in 50. You guys don't know this, but when we bought the equipment 3 years ago, with Apis Engineering, I went in 50% with the microscope and all that stuff. Stuff's not cheap. You know, I'm gonna probably get him a couple queens this year from the Amish line. Get those mite-resistant mutts in there. We talked about it last year. Yeah, so a lot going on. So I'm going to have a new phase in life. 2026. Yeah, I'm waiting for warm days. That won't be till April. And it still can be cold. Well, 40s, upper 40s, 50 degrees is the high in April. But usually by about the third week of February in my area, we start getting a few warm days. Hopefully, we won't have any bad tornadoes this year. I don't have a good feeling now. Yeah, Chris, you peaked in the fondant. I wanted to peak in my high. Like, it went up to 53 today. I went out to my barn. That was it to get some Allen wrenches. I should have stopped and got some pictures. Oh, I did buy some elderberry sticks. That's the other thing I bought. I knew I bought something else. I bought 10 of them. So I got those planted in my yard. They're actually planted right right across the backyard, right through here, right where I'm pointing. I got comfrey planted there, elderberry planted there now, and got something else planted. It's in the first row. Oh, I don't remember. So I got American holly, rose of Sharon, comfrey, elderberry. I forget what the other ones were. And down on the other side of my house, I have witch hazel planted. So hopefully in a few years, I have a lot of bushes growing. Oh, sumac! I got some sumac a row of sumac planted. Because that's a really good fall plant. So American holly and sumac are both fall plants, and the rosemary and the comfrey bloom all summer. So I'm trying to get the whole season covered. And plus, and I also planted. I threw seeds out on all that field behind me, between me and the hives there, with clover. So I'm hoping eventually I don't have to cut that field too much, because it'll be full of plants, bushes. And I got a common chokeberry. I'm going to graft off of that this spring and get more of that growing. The only problem is deer love it. Love to eat the plant, eat the whole bush down to nothing. Yeah, Minnesota. It's too cold for me. In fact, as I get older, I want to go more south. Actually, if I moved, I would love to go to the very southern part of West Virginia, almost to Maryland. Yeah, I know it's beautiful up in Minnesota. I actually do like it up there. It's just, you get brutal summers, winters. You know, another area that's one of the pretty areas, Maine, state of Maine. But I was up there one winter and it got down to minus 39 degrees. Too cold for me. It was cold. So, yeah, 42 degrees is warm enough to pop the lid. And, yeah, close it back. Do your check or put your stuff in and close it right back up. I've done it at 35 degrees and sunny and had no issues. So just don't get it being there too long. That part of the hive is, well, the bees are probably up there. So yeah, do what you need to do and close it back up. And where Randy is, he won't have any problem checking. He'll plenty of warm days. 5 pound patties. That shoot, Chris, that should be enough to get you through a couple months. I mean, usually the most I put on is 6 pounds, 2-3 pound sugar bricks. When I checked, I didn't check mine today, and tomorrow it's not only going up to low 30s. So my chances to check are gone. Today was the day, but I did house stuff instead. Don't have my priorities right. One of my wife's projects. I got family coming over on the 24th. Just all my brothers, just my brothers, sisters, and their wives or husbands. A little get together. We do it every year. We just rotate down through the family. So my younger brother be next year, and then my sister, and then it'll repeat to my oldest brother. So this year's my year. I have everybody over. We do it around my mom's birthday, which is the 23rd of January. Saturday's the 24th. So I got to get the house all cleaned up for that. And since she's a school teacher, she doesn't have much time. So, you know what I'm going to be doing the next 2 weeks? Painting, cleaning up house. I do have a big project coming on. My wife and I are redoing our whole first floor, except for the bedrooms. Those have already been done, and the bathroom's already been done. But the kitchen, the family room, the dining room, the hallways, we're ripping the whole floors up, and I'm putting white oak floor down and everything. Put new cabinets in, new kitchen. Just going to change the layout just a little bit. The layout's staying the same. The type of cabinets in there is going to change just a little bit in one area. A granite, probably a granite countertop, and repaint the whole first floor and ceiling. So I'm missing some of the conversation. A pound of honey per week in the shed. Yeah, that's probably about right. One thing he goes in pretty heavy, pretty big hives when he goes in. So I could see a pound a week the beginning of the year, and I think by the end of the year, the winter, he's probably a half pound per week. Because when he does his pictures at the end before he takes them out, they're only half the size they were when he put them in. So I would have to ask Ian if that was at the beginning or if that was at the end. So I would guess 3/4 of a pound as an average. So far, when I checked my bees the last time it got warm, which has been 3 weeks, week after Christmas, so 2 to 3 weeks, only my May hives were at the top. All my other hives were still down at the bottom of the box and hadn't maybe gone in an inch into the top deep. So I don't even think they're going to touch my supplements I put on top, or if they do, they're just going to touch it at the very end. And I hope at the end of the month, end of January, in about 2 more weeks, to put those global pollen patties on them, which will be 4 weeks before the first pollen is available. Yeah. So that'll be my start, and I'll probably be taking some of that stuff off to put the pollen patties on them. I'm going to cut them in half, the global patties, put a half of one on each one. Hey, Dennis, that's my game plan. I'll see what it is in 2 weeks, the last week of January. Hopefully I get a good day to do that. But that's my game plan this year. Chris, I plan to put my patties on the end of January, the last week of January to no later than the first week of February. I like to put them on 4 weeks before the pollen starts flowing because they won't touch the patties then. Our silver maple trees bloom typically the first day of March, plus or minus 3 days. So it could be the last 2 days of February to March 3rd. Pretty much that way every year. Most years they emerge out the 2nd, 3rd, or 4th of March. So if I go back 4 weeks from then, that's basically the first day of February or the very end of January. So during that 2 weeks, I'll be looking to put them on to get them stimulated, get them going. The reason is people up in Michigan, people down in the South don't have this concern, but people in the Ohio Valley and some people in the northern part of the Tennessee Valley. I think the southern part's okay, but the northern part has the same issue. Um, One of the biggest, hardest thing about beekeeping where I live is to winter bees flying days. That's what I call them. Today is number 8. So far this year, since I closed them up, 1st of December, basically, the bees have flown. Actually, the bees have flown 7, 8 times now. Counting. Well, they didn't fly much today. I won't count today. It did get up to 53, but it was cloudy and it was windy. When I was out there the one time and checked on them real quick, they weren't flying, and that was probably around 1, 2 o'clock. So they've been flying for 7 days. If those winter bees fly 14, 16 times before February, there's a good chance those bees will not ever make it back to the hive. When they go out looking for food, they're going to fly 3 miles, maybe even more, all over the place searching for food and then fly back. And they're tearing their wings up. The bees don't die because of AIDS. They die because they crash and burn because their wings are torn up. Mostly they get their nectar, pollen from the plant, and they get too heavy, and their wings are all torn up, and they don't make it back to the hive. So one of my biggest problems, and everybody else around my area, is our cluster that was that big going in slowly shrink down because those winter bees are not making it back into the hive. We start getting into 14, 15 day flying days. And then middle of February, we'll get one really cold snap. We'll get down to 0 degrees or 9 degrees for 3 or 4 days. And guess what? There's not enough bees to keep that hive warm, and they freeze to death. So I want that queen to be laying 1st of February, at least a decent size brood pattern on those frames. So when it gets into middle of February, 1st of February, those bees are merging out to keep the numbers up. So I'm hoping the queens are already laying some. I don't know if they are, but hopefully they are. They should be laying some. And I want that circle that she's laying as big as possible. Yeah, Miller Bee Surprise had a good price on that stuff too, Russell. Keith, they had some good prices. I had already bought them. I think they were just a hair more expensive, but not much. You got maples blooming, yeah. I got another. What's today? The 13th. I probably got another 6 more weeks for the silver maples to start blooming, and the crocus to blooming. The witch hazel is blooming right now, but mine aren't big enough yet to bloom. Maybe next year, next winter. So there actually is a little bit of pollen and nectar out there right now for the bees if they do fly, which is good. So I'm hoping to I'm hoping to get the pollen patties on them last week of January. No later than couple days into February, around the 25th. That'll give me 4.5 weeks, 4 weeks, December of February, and then 2 weeks into March. Yeah, going. So hopefully get her laying as much as possible to get her through the last couple weeks of February. So that's my game plan. Last year I wasn't able to do it because I was working too much for the man. Not this year. I'm just working for myself. So I just don't get it done. It'd be my own problem. Or Mother Nature didn't help me. Cool front. So 8:30. I think I'll go to 9 o'clock. Staying with the steady team of 16. I guess Bob is on. I'm sure he's on. He's on every day. He was on this morning. Does everybody know if Walker's on? I haven't checked if Walker B is on. Yeah, he's got Big Mike on and Brad and Doug. He's got the Canadians on. He just talks about all kinds of stuff. I try to talk about helpful stuff. So things that make you a better beekeeper, make myself a better beekeeper. All right, Chris, have a good evening. Now, I'll be on 2 more weeks from now. What day will make that? The 27th? Yeah, 27th I'll be on. Will be my next one. And I should have a lot more. I'll know by then if Michael is going to be able to make my entrances. I'll know for sure I got a supplier to make my mite treatment pads. I think that's what I'm going to be calling them, pads. And I'll be buying totes and dow sticks and stuff like that. Open feeding, yeah, I won't be open feeding either. I might be putting out pollen a little bit, dried pollen in February also. Not a whole lot. I don't like too much that cheap pollen that they won't use, but at least it'll stimulate them a little bit. The whole key is getting stimulated a little bit from the outside and some good stuff in the inside. Get the bees excited and get that queen laying. If I get a little cold brood because he laid up a whole frame, I don't really care. I just want that core to be as big as they can handle to keep warm. So I think so far, since I've only had 7 flying days, and they weren't even full flying days. Everything looks good, and we're getting cold again. So I don't think they're going to be flying anymore this year. So I think it'll be at least to the 3rd week of February that they'll get into 14, 15 days of flying. The wings are going to get bad. So I think this year is going to be okay. Too bad for the Iowa Valley beekeepers. So I think that's about it. Anybody got any questions? I don't know. There's some newer people on here. And I did mention this last year, but my NAHBE pads, and we call them, is basically just craft paper with beeswax lining, water, silica, and sponge, micro sponges that you buy at the store. do I open feed pollen subs in the spring? No, Russell. Good question. I will do it in like February, but once pollen comes in March, when the trees are starting to bloom, I will shut it off. That pollen they typically don't use once the trees are blooming, and it'll just sit in your frame and basically make that part of the frame useless. So I really, really, really minimize how much pollen feeding I do. Now, my mentor, hey, Philip at RTX, I sampled your honey and it's more floral than my honey. But I really liked it. It was good. It was pretty sweet too. So I'll do a few weeks. It all depends on the weather, but I'll just do a few weeks in February with the pollen feeding, Patty, just to stimulate them. 3 weeks. If it looks like it's going to be the first week of March, like the 4th or 5th, between the maple trees blooming, then I might go to the 4th week of February. That'll be the latest, and then I'll take it out. Yeah, and pollen bound frames are a pain. Yeah, so I only want to use it to stimulate them pre trees coming out. That's the only time I feed it to them. Yep, and golden honey we trust for sure, Rick. So yeah, so I used to open feed. I was going to say my mentor open feeds dry pollen all year round. He just throws it in a big 100-barrel gallon tub. I mean, he's got hundreds of hives. He's actually got a couple of them. And I guess that he's not feeding them that much because between 500 hives, just two couple pounds in each one of them isn't that much. That's Mississippi, Russell. I like that. You guys are funny. That's the best part. Everybody's personality. They're all good. So yeah, so light dry outside side feeding. I might even feed them in March. Some depending on the weather, some 1-to-1, or maybe 1-to-1 outside feeding. Maybe. I mean, we're still cold in March. I mean, we still get snow in March, so probably not. And actually, it's February is not so big. It's March when we get a cold snap in early March that kills a lot of bees. So I'm hoping by the middle of February I got brood coming out and lots of it. So that's why I feed at the end of the month the pollen patties, and I'll put out some dry pollen to stimulate them. I got everything unpacked and it's in my barn, but I haven't started building any my hives yet. Just 4 hives I bought. Got the glue, got the clamps out. My workbench right now is full because I'm still working on the wood chipper. I just got to put oil in the wood chipper, install the carburetor. Got that all cleaned out, taken care of. And when was that background photo was taken? That was taken the 2nd day of December, or 3rd day of December, 1st week of December. So I got to take a new picture probably tomorrow, and I have the background updated in 2 weeks. Actually, I'll update it probably tomorrow or the next day. So, yeah, we've already gotten 16 inches of snow for the year. But lately, since then, since a week before Christmas, we haven't gotten any snow. We're supposed to get some dustings Friday, Saturday. I think maybe an inch. No, we don't have any. All the snow's melted. In fact, like I said, I planted all these um, plants just this week, last 2 weeks. I planted the elderberry sticks that I got from the NAHBE today. So that's one thing I did do. I took a little break from painting and got those planted. And that's what I said. I was right there, take my picture, and I didn't even think about it to update my background. So old timers disease. Yeah, I was like, oh man, now I got to do it tomorrow, and it's going to be cold and windy, maybe even rainy. I think it's supposed to rain sometime tomorrow. I think after noontime, so I got to do it in the morning time. Okay, take the picture. But tomorrow I just got to do a little touch up. A couple little spots I got to touch up with paint, and I got to put the doors back on. The shower towel rack I got to put back on. Little things like that. I was going to do that tonight, but I'm busy talking instead. I'll wait till tomorrow. Yeah, I didn't buy it. I was going to buy some wax and I didn't buy any. I got some wax to wax my frames um, that need to be touched up for next year. Well, that's a good deal. Miller being so close, 40 minutes from me. I don't have any manufacturing plant near me in the Ohio Valley, around the Cincinnati area. I guess I need to do that. Yeah. If I was younger, I would, but not now. I got enough going on. There is Happy Acres on the east side of town, which is about a 50-minute drive for me. Probably only 40 miles, but it's like 50 minutes, 55 minutes. I have to drive through Kentucky, drive through Cincinnati, then drive through Kentucky, get back into Ohio, and then take some back roads to get to their place in Owensville, Ohio. So not very easy to get to them. And they got just fair prices. I can get better pricing from Miller or from other people. Hey, good evening, Lamore. You're just getting on here now, and I was about ready to get off soon in a little bit. I just don't have enough to talk. It's neat stuff going on. So we did have some big winds when I was down at NAHBE. We just got that rain that came through. What day was that? Friday morning or Saturday morning? Friday morning. We had gusty winds through here. I know they were over 40 miles per hour, and I got half cinder blocks holding my tarps down where the snow showing, and probably about 6 or 7 bricks, solid bricks, and the wind blew my tarp right off. It kind of surprised me, but it's back on now. So they were saying 50, 60 mile per hour winds, really gusty winds. Actually, it's been windy last year and starting out this year. A lot of wind. Not sure what's up with that. So I still got to move those hives behind me. I only can have 4 so far. I have no update on my neighbor below me on selling it their property. I need to give him a call. Maybe next weekend I'll give him a call. He works, every day, 5 days a week. So I'll wait till Saturday and call him. I don't think I got anything going on. Well, I have to move my mother-in-law Friday, so Saturday I'll probably still be moving into a different memory care unit, nursing home, when it's a little bit better. Wow, 6 doctors and 12 surgeries. Well, I've been getting PT on this shoulder. I got a rotator rip on my rotator cuff up on the top. It's half ripped, about halfway. And right now I got a cortisone shot in it, and I'm doing PT on Tuesday. I did it today, and it's aching a little bit. And I pushed myself pretty hard, trying to see if exercises. I actually heard it back last April, and I've lived with it so far almost, 8 months. I finally had it MRI done a month ago. So probably have surgery on it sometime this year. It shouldn't be too bad of a surgery since it's only a partial rip on my rotator cuff. I did it actually taking one of my honey boxes that were 60 pounds way up high above my head, up on a ladder. That's when I hurt myself. So I'm not stacking honey boxes higher than myself now on. No more stacking them 8 high. I think I'll just stack them 5 or 6 high. Live and learn. And keep doing my PT exercises. I got 6 of them. That's funny. Yeah, my wife's next door. She's got she had 75 papers to grade last night, and I think she got about 30 of them done. So she's working on them. So they must be manual ones, written ones that I can't help her because she hasn't asked me to help. Not ABC, true or false. Yeah, Dennis. I can still use my shoulder pretty good. I mean, there's like that going back like that is not good for it. There's and certain moves, but I can actually move myself, force myself through it like that. My left shoulder. So, and I'm right-handed. So, at least it's not my main hand. Like I said, it's just a couple of movements that it just hurts, and I just fight my way through it. And I didn't do anything about it last year until the end of the year because it wasn't keeping me up at night, but I've been doing so much, using it so much, it's kind of aching through the day. It aches like right now because I did PT on it this morning. And then I was painting, using both hands to paint because you can't get to everything with your right hand. You got to use your left hand. And so I probably will have it taken care of sometime this summer. I don't think I'll be out of beekeeping too long. I might have to wait till after the season. Then through the summer, just get some more cortisone shots. I think they're good for 3 months. So I took one here at the end of the year. So that should get me to the end of March. And that should get me to the end of July. So if I get another shot, maybe I'll wait 2 months and then get another shot to get me through pulling all the honey. So, hey, Ravenshire, hope everything's going good. You missed my story. To give a little overview, I'm going to start an LCC company, LLC company, limited liability. I did it once before in my life. Hopefully, it's a lot easier in the state of Ohio. And I'm going to be selling my new custom Langstroth 2.0 bottom boards. They're solid bottom boards right now with my entrance, but I am going to make a screen bottom board with my entrance for the Southern people, friends, and my NAHBE pads that for mite treatment, non-chemical, inert materials, and biodegradable. And I'm going to do my simple swarm traps. So 3 little things I'm going to start selling in my LLC. I'm also going to move my property, all my possessions to the LLC, just to protect anybody wanting to sue me or anything like that. That's more political stuff. So it'll be multi-purpose. Yes, I don't like taking cortisone shots. Yep. Yeah, a little bit. So, yeah, but at the same time, it lets me use my shoulder. That's why I said Philip, I heard it back in April of last year, and I haven't had any surgery on it yet. So, insurance company won't pay for the surgery unless you try shots first. So I'm really doing it for insurance reason. Now after my 3 months, end of March, basically May 1st, I can have surgery because I did my shot, quote unquote, for the insurance company. You just can't have surgeries anymore. You got to do all the pre-treatments first. It's crazy. 12-ounce curls. Yep. Actually, I can do that all day long. That motion doesn't bother me. Actually, when I played in the golf league, and that a golf swing doesn't bother me either. So, be patient or be a patient. That is so true. Yeah, heart valve replacement. Oh, that's serious. I've had this shoulder worked on. I had major work on that one 4 years ago, 3 years ago. And I had my knee done a year and a half ago. Now it's my other shoulder. Well, my knee replacement's going good. It's a little sore too because I've just been using it a lot, going up and down steps a lot. But hey, I made it to 9 o'clock. That's cool. Almost 9 o'clock. Man, still got 17 watching. That's good. If nobody jumped on, I begged people to jump on to help me talk a little bit. I'm not a talker like some other people are that do the streaming and tell you the whole life story about you. I just did a little bit about funny stuff. Yeah, one time I had a store called Home Brewing where I sold wine supplies to make wine, beer supplies to make homemade beer, and teas for tea drinking and all its supplies in the store. And that's when I had my first LLC. So what's that now, Mark? Have a face for the radio. Yeah, I don't care about that stuff. I don't think most people do. I got just a regular round face, a little bit of a voice, but I'm not a storyteller. I don't think engineers, background people are storytellers. Most of them aren't as talkative and outgoing as I am. So I'm blessed in that aspect. So that's really good. Randy says I have to wait, Phil, tough Phil, I have to wait till I retire. Yeah, Randy is the one who pushed me into retirement. Actually, when I picked up those hives, nukes down at for Cayman's place, I guess I was retired then. No, was I retired then? That was in April. I retired in April. I picked those in March. So I was not retired then. But when that trip pushed me into retirement, and I saw Randy down there. So yeah, bourbon tour, the Bat Factory. I we took. I've been, I don't live too far from Louisville. I got family in Louisville. I took all my kids down there when they were little. And the bourbon, my wife and I did a little bit of the Bourbon Trail tour. That's kind of neat. That bourbon. There's 4 or 5 different ones that you can do. In fact, I can tell you a little story. When I had my brewing store, homebrew, um, well, you retired in March, so I retired a month after you. See, you're the one who inspired me. So that's good. Uh, um, I took a 55-gallon whiskey barrel that we got from Buffalo Trace. So we drove down, my friend and I drove down to Buffalo Trace and bought a barrel from him. And we told the guy that we were going to put some beer in it and make a bourbon beer. And he made sure he left about 30 gallons of a Buffalo Trace whiskey in it, bourbon in it, I should say. Bourbon, not whiskey. And I made my black IPA. I made 50 gallons of it and filled that baby up. And then I aged it for another 3 more months. And that was one wicked beer. So did a lot of sampling. I let everybody sample that beer. Just one little sample, and that was it. Because I don't know what the alcohol percent was, but it was high. That was in my younger days when I was younger. That was to get people in the store. It did all right, but I got out of it after some years. I actually did my engineering when I still had the store because I could do all my engineering, write my programs anywhere. So during the morning and evening, afternoon, when the store wasn't real busy, Monday through Friday, I'll be writing program till customers showed up. I have not done honey yet. Bourbon and honey. It is on my list. I'll be doing that soon. I'll buy one of those 3-gallon ones and make some bourbon honey. Maybe I'll make some bourbon. I made honey beer already. So maybe I'll make a honey bourbon beer and just a bourbon, honey bourbon. Make both of them. Boy, that would be a pain getting with the license to do beer, sell beer and all that. Yeah, you can buy those 3-gallon barrels pretty easily. Not one of those full-size barrels. That'd be too much. That'd be too much honey just to make a bourbon honey. I don't think I'd sell. Who knows? Oh, I never tried Michael's bourbon honey. Maybe if he starts making my product for me, I might have to go out to his place someday and see it in production when he finalizes. He should be getting. I shipped it out yesterday, mailed it out. UPS. I mean, not UPS. I did the United Post Office, so he should get it by the end of the week. Yeah. So yeah, my friend gave me some, and I couldn't even. I mean, it wasn't sweet at all. It still tastes just like bourbon to me, or whiskey. I don't know which one to use. Well, Dennis, all right. Let me tell the story, Dennis. Wayne's I don't think he was even a beekeeper. I think his family might have been a beekeeper, but I don't think he was a beekeeper. I know he was a doctor and a scientist, so I don't know how much time he really had to beekeeping. But his entrance and his bottom board is totally against what bees want to do. If you do cutouts, and I've done enough cutouts, and you talk to Dirt Rooster, 628 Dirt Rooster, or you talk to Jeff Bischoff of Mr. Ed, and they 3 years ago, I talked to them when when Cayman had it down in Kentucky, for the following year, which had been the first year of NAHBE. After one whole year, they confirmed that every cutout that they did, that every entrance of their cutout, they went perpendicular to the frames, not in line with the frames. Every hive. So if my hand's the frame, the entrance went right into the center of that frame. In fact, everyone I did, and when I studied them, that first frame would be comb. If they get honey bound, they'll put honey on the sides of the comb. And then on the back side, inside of that first comb, sometimes they'll curve it a little bit, and they'll do a little comb, and that'll be empty, except for it might have pollen on the inside. Next frame will be all pollen. And then it's brood, pollen, just like a typical hive. So I created all my hives now, except for my Apame hives. My entrance is on the 20-inch side of the board. So all my bees enter into the first frame, perpendicular. Also makes it nice. I never have to reach over the box anymore, my hive. I actually crack all my frames from the side and pull them up from the side. So much easier on the bees, which I really like. And I created an entrance where the bees have to go 1.25 inches into the hive, and they come out the sides. And also it forces all the cold air to the front first inch of the hive. And it also stops robbing of the hive. I let the critters in, I let the bees in, I let the wasps in, but the wasps never make it back out because they don't know how to get back out because of my custom entrance. If I actually I have it right with me right now. I'll show you. So let me see if I can get. Okay, here's the long. You can see if I can get it better in the camera. Here's the long way, and actually this it's hard on the camera. This is the short way where the entrance used to be, and then I have this little piece here where the bees have to go through this part and then into this, and they come out the sides, here, here, and on the other side, right here, right there. So when wasp and bees try to come out, they actually go right here, and they try to get out to the end to my entrance over here, and they get propolised right in this area. So that's one of the things I'm going to be selling, and I'll have some. Michael's going to make them for me at 21st Bees. At least so preliminary right now. He's going to make them for me, and I'll be selling them at NAHBE next year, hopefully, if everything works out. Like I said, separately that you can install them yourself, or with the bottom boards already installed. So, and then I'll have my swarm traps, my simple traps. Well, I make out of 19-gallon totes. I had at least 5 or 6 people tell me that they've made them now for my videos, and they can't believe how well it works. So they're convinced. I'm convinced. I know it works. If I could get purple 19-gallon totes, I'd make them purple ones, but nobody makes purple totes, just blue. And I'm going to try to find darker blue versus sky blue. Yeah, yeah. And bees, that's how they make their hives. Sometimes they're diagonal a little bit, but they're never into it. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. So I'm just I'm going to call it Langstroth 2.0. I don't know. I don't even know what I'm going to call it yet. I don't have a good name for it. My sideways bottom board. So all the hives behind me, except for the Apame hive over here, this finger, Apame hive at the end there, the white one there, and the one next to it is the Langstroth way, and all the other hives or in the warm, I call it the warm way, with my entrance in them, custom entrance in them. So it stops the robbing. It keeps my hives a lot warm. Like I said earlier, all my bees are still down in the bottom box. This is my first year ever not having bees up at the top, where I got all that emergency food sitting. So I think maybe by February, end of February, they might get through that deep box. I mean, it's got what? There's 20 pounds, 40. There's 80-pound boxes, 20 pounds for the box, so 60 pounds of honey. So if they do a pound a day, it's going to take them 60 days. That's a month and a half. So maybe by the end of this month, and maybe in February, they'll finally get to the top and hit the fondant I got up there and the sugar bricks I got up there. So I'm thrilled about that. Next time it gets decently warm, 60, 70 degrees, I'll shoot a video on that, and I'll share it with everybody about how my bees are staying down the bottom box. My Apame hives, they're up at the top, traditionally on the top. So I know the bottom box is kept warm because the breeze does not make it in there anymore. It gets trapped. And I got it curved. The entrance, I couldn't show you because I screwed down, but the back side of it, it's curved, so it forces the air that does get in back to the front of the hive. So it just basically it mimics nature the best I can build it. The best thing to do is that first frame to go all the way down to the bottom board and attach to the bottom board, and then have on the sides what they do would have 3/8 holes, like 4 or 5 on each side for the bees to pass in and out of. But that wouldn't be practical because now your first frame stuck to the bottom board. So I just made the 3D printed. Spanky made them for me. um, last year, the year before, last 2 years. So name it that. I don't know what I'm going to name the bottom boards and that adapter piece entrance. I don't have a name for it. I got simple trap for my swarm trap, and I got no Vero pads for my pads, but I don't have a name for my bottom board. So somebody can come up with it. Long ways entrance. I don't know. My entrances are 2 inches wide by 3/8 high. So 2 by 3/8, and they're approximately 2 inches deep in the hive. An inch block and then an inch opening on each side. Yeah, Spanky's been he's had a bad year last year, and he was hoping to get back this coming year. I think he had some health issues, but he wouldn't share it with me. He was just helping me doing the prototypes for my insert, my entrance. And we did a few renditions of it back and forth. And he just told me that he just had not a good year. I'm sure he'll tell us when he gets back going, but you know how talkative he is in the first place. Nature's Way bottom board, NWBB, NAHBE. Yeah, I could do that. It's a little long. I like short, little, simple names. Yeah, Nature's Way bottom board. Let me write that down. Maybe you'll get a free one by Dennis. I'll write that down. Nature's Way bottom board. That does have a good ring, though. Warm way, right way, Nature's Way. Yeah, I thought, but I like Nature's Way. Warm way, that's what, and actually, a lot of people don't know this, but almost all of Europe runs it that way because they have the national box, which is square. So there's not it's not rectangle like Langstroth's is. And they always run it the warm way. It's really the right way. So maybe right way, Nature's Right Way bottom board. That's a good one too. That's another word though. Nature's Right Way. NRWBB. Norwalk. I don't know. Something like that. Except in winter. Well, that's when they work the best, in winter. But they're also a robbing device. It never comes, you don't have to, it never comes out, stays in there permanently. So it's a no robbing Nature's Way bottom board. When I designed it, it was for overwintering. I never even thought of working as a robbing board. But just having that 1 inch block, everything comes back to the very front where they walked in, and of course that's all blocked. They don't know they have to back up an inch to get out. It's crazy. they don't figure that out. Warm way, yeah. So anybody come up with any clever little way, um, that'd be good. Yeah, I run 2 inches in the summer, and then I put a block of wood on my landing board to block half of it. So I'm about a half inch to 3/4 to an inch, basically. So 2 inch warm, half inch cold. In fact, I want to on that entrance, I want to put a plug in there that'll make it a half inch opening for winter time. So it'll slide right in. So that'll be a part of it in the 2 inches. So I'll make a little piece. That I'll have to send to Michael too. Or I ask him what I'll need him to do. He'll probably figure it out. So there'll be a little insert I go into. I also want to make it for the wrong way people too. So I have a piece going all the way across with the entrance in the middle, the custom entrance in the middle of it. So that'll be another little piece if you don't want to swap your board out, bottom board out. And I looked at all the commercial people putting them on pallets. It wouldn't be an issue either. They just have 2 entrances on each side of the pallet instead of the four corners. So it wouldn't make any difference for commercial people. Yeah, that's what I want to do for the. So, yeah, I could do a slide. Oh, yeah, that's a really good idea. Oh, that's a really good idea. With a sliding gate with a little notch to keep it shut. Kind of like they do on those Apple hives. Guess I got to do some more designing. That wouldn't be too hard to do. Yeah. Problem is, I mount that in the inside of the box. Well, I have to think about it. No sleeping tonight. No, I'll sleep. I'm tired. Yeah, I don't push those all the way flush. I actually use the 3/4 inch of the box and I actually slope it a little bit. So if it ever rains, the water that collects on the landing board doesn't go up into the hive. So the hive's actually a 1/4 inch, 3/8 of an inch higher than the landing board. So it's recessed. If I showed you here, see it's mounted behind the box trim. So in this part, right, hard to do this when I'm looking at the camera. This part right here is sloped down to my landing board right here. And it's actually mounted. I try to go this way. It doesn't show up in the camera. But this landing board is actually, it's about flush with it. It's about a 1/4 inch slope. So it keeps water out. And they have to go in that 3/4 inch plus 1 more inch. So that's why I said it's a inch and 3/4. They have to 1.75 inches that the bees before they can enter into the hive, which actually simulates close to a tree. And the trees are anywhere from 1 to 2 inches of bark and a little bit of tree skin, whatever you call that inside part, before you get into the hollow part of the tree. So it actually simulates a tree and everything. Well, Philip, you're moving some hive. I got a bunch of hives I have to move. I have to build the stand first. I got to do that pretty soon. I mean, I got to move them by probably the end of February before we get warm weather. I want to find we get about 3 or 4 days, 4 days of low 40s in a row. Then I'll move them. I'm going to make engine bottom boards for the screen bottom boards too. So I'll get you covered, Philip. I have to actually buy a couple screen bottom boards for prototypes. So yeah, to closing them up, I got to think about that. And putting a plug in is not a problem. So I might have three pieces: a smaller entrance and a plug. The plug to fit into the smaller entrance. Maybe I don't know. I have to think about it. It'd be nice to be all in one piece. I'd have to make something come up out to that 3/4 inch. That's an idea. Slide it right in. Then have the gates in front, like they do on NAHBE hives. So I could do something like that. I'd make my entrances slightly under 2 inches, but I could always make my opening 2 1/4. So I have that 1/4 inch, the plastic. Good night, Dennis. Plastic, width, whatever that is, on two sides. So yeah, I got an idea already to be able to open and close it. And it'll be in the inside and that'll be on the outside. Good idea. Good idea. Oh, okay. Yeah. Man, I wish Michael had big enough um, molding machines to make it for me. He was more than willing to make the bottom board too, but it's going to be a year and a half out, year to year and a half out before that next piece molding line goes in. That's what he told me. I guess they already got it bought or they're engineering it right now. The family is, so they can do bigger parts. So I had to find somebody who can make it for me. That's going to be a challenge. Getting it designed ain't a problem. Getting it made with the same features would be a tough one. Yeah, NAHBE didn't even want to talk to me about it. It's like, wow, you're going to lose all this business. And I'll make a new lid too, because I'm not a big fan of their lid. I want to make one that doesn't vent, that's insulated like R15. So, one of those non-condensing hives. And I'd like the lid to fit on there and snap on, then clamp it if you want to clamp it. Don't have the clamp holding it down. Have it where it sits in there better. So you don't have to clamp it just to have it sitting on the hive. Yeah, so if the latch breaks, you could still put the lid on. So I'd probably want to change the lid and the bottom board. Yeah, and I think the latches, yeah, I'm not a big fan of those latches either, to tell you the truth. So, they got the boxes overlapping, so they kind of nestle in there really good. But so why doesn't the lid nestle in just like the boxes do? So I think they missed the boat on that one. Yeah, and the OAV without melting something. Good point. And that would be built into it. A stainless steel tube, something like that. Or probably just aluminum. Be a lot cheaper, stainless steel. Yep. Yeah, I'm going to redesign it and have somebody manufacture it. I could make one out of wood, but it would be heavy. I had to get it out of plastic, styrofoam, and insulate it. Have it R7, R10, just like theirs is. Have a solid one and a screen one for the solid people and for the screen one for the southern people. Both options. Both the warm way, both be able to treat them with silic acid vapor and have my entrance built into it, all in the plastic mold. Yeah. All right. Let me write that down too. All right. You guys are going to keep me busy, and I'm going to have like 2 more items on my store. I would actually have all NAHBE hives if I could have got a custom bottom board and a better bottom board and a better lid. I didn't talk to, and now I didn't talk to any other manufacturers about this. NAHBE was the only one. And I'll build a better feeder system too. A whole nother feeder that you can put on top, just like a box where you can do a gallon or a 1 gallon feature and a 2 gallon feature. Get rid of their cheap little feeders. I built a shim for mine, so I have a little shim. I took the feeders off, the top feeders, and put a little shim in, then the lid goes on that, just so I have some little bit of more room. Just a half-inch little shim. The lid would still cover it, and I could still latch it down, just barely. So that's another thing. You can try to make any changes you can. So, all right. Well, I think I'm going. It's 9:30. There's only 7 watching now, so I'm going to call it a night. Everybody can jump over to Bob's if you want. So, everybody have a good. I'll see you in 2 weeks. I'll give you an update on all the stuff I'm doing, and we'll go from there. Hopefully by then we'll have some really good weather. So, night, everybody. Everybody have a good week, and I'll see you on the other chats. I got to go 2 more minutes so to make it exactly 9:30. Yeah, it's good enough. All right, guys, I'm going to call it an end. Everybody be safe, be good.